Chapter 51 Poison Douluo and a Group of Actors. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 51, Poison Douluo and a Bunch of Hams. After Zhu Zhuqing activated her fourth soul skill, Nether Transformation, her dark attribute power and attack doubled. It was like a mini version of her true martial soul form, while in Nether Transformation, her other skills like Nether Spike, Nether Hundred Claws, and Nether Fall got a double boost to their attack power and dark attribute. Xiao Wu said, a little jealous, Zhuqing, your third and fourth soul skills are awesome. I'm envious. Zhu Zhuqing smiled back, Xiao Wu, all of your soul skills are great, don't be jealous of me. Xiao Wu's skills included Waist Bow, Charm, Teleportation, Invincible Golden Body, Soft Bone Lock, and her own signature move, 8 Dance Throw. Each one definitely had its own strengths and covered a lot of bases. Chowda chuckled, alright, enough with the compliments. I know you're both amazing. Xiao Wu stuck her tongue out at Chowda playfully. Zhu Zhuqing just smiled and stayed quiet. Liu Erlong shot Chowda a look, then said, you're all amazing talents, and you have every right to be proud. I'm always proud of you all too. Xiao Wu dashed over and hugged Liu Erlong's arm, whining, Erlong mommy is the best. Zhu Zhuqing felt a pang of envy. She hadn't had much warm family affection growing up. Chowda told Zhu Zhuqing, there's still some lingering dark energy in the black hole. You can absorb it. Every little bit helps. Okay. Zhu Zhuqing had been planning to do that anyway. Chowda had already checked out the black hole with his mental power. No danger there. Let's have a picnic here for lunch, Xiao Wu suggested. Chowda agreed, I'll grab the kitchen stuff from my space. He had kitchen gear, ingredients, fruit, everything ready to go. Pretty soon, there was a wisp of smoke rising from their little cooking setup. Zhu Zhuqing finished soaking up the dark energy from the black hole, and Chowda and the others were almost ready to eat. Just as they were settling in for a nice picnic, Douluo showed up out of nowhere. Well, having a picnic in the Soul Beast Forest, are we? You guys are really living it up. Douluo eyed Chowda and the crew, then cut to the chase. Any of you happen to wander into the super poisonous area deep in the Sunset Forest? As soon as Chowda heard that, he knew Douluo had been to the Ice and Fire Yin-Yang well and discovered his precious herbs were missing. Now he was hunting down whoever had lifted them. Douluo might not know they were immortal herbs, but he definitely knew someone had stolen something from him. You're Poison Douluo, aren't you? Liu Erlong, having lived in Heaven Dose City for a while, had crossed paths with Douluo before. Douluo also felt like he'd seen Liu Erlong before. You know this old coot? Funny, you look familiar. Guess we've met somewhere. Liu Erlong replied, I'm Liu Erlong, the headmistress of Lanba Academy. I brought some students here to get soul rings. I haven't been anywhere near that spot you're talking about. She'd heard Douluo had a hideout in the Sunset Forest. Considering Chowda had been hanging around the same area, she'd already figured out Chowda might have raided Douluo's place, and that the fairy grass came from the secret area, so, being as sharp as she was, Liu Erlong wasn't about to admit anything. She even came up with a plausible reason for being there. Lanba Academy, Liu Erlong. Oh, right, I remember you now. Douluo remembered. He knew Liu Erlong was a soul sage, and with that kind of power, she probably couldn't have gotten through his poison defenses, but just to be sure, he needed to double-check. I've got a herb garden in the Sunset Forest, and it just got raided. You being here makes you a suspect. Hand over your storage soul guides. If you're clean, I'll let you go. Liu Erlong frowned. Senior Poison Douluo, we haven't been to the place you mentioned. We certainly didn't steal your herbs. Our storage soul guides are private. We're not exactly comfortable with just handing them over. Please don't make things difficult. Xiao Wu and Zhu Zhuqing now suspected Chowda might have helped himself to Douluo's herbs. They kept their cool and didn't let Douluo see anything suspicious. Humph. Don't push me. Fork over the storage soul guides, now. Poison Douluo didn't care if Liu Erlong was the head of some academy. If you pissed him off, he'd kill you. wipe out the evidence, and nobody would ever know. Liu Erlong was furious at Poison Douluo's bossy attitude. If she were alone, she'd have already thrown down. But with Xiao and the others around, she had to think twice. Just as Liu Erlong was stuck between a rock and a hard place, Xiao spoke up, "Senior Poison Douluo, my name is Xiao. I'm one of Teacher Erlong's students. If we show you everything in our storage soul guides and that proves we're innocent, could I ask you for a favor in return?" That everyone looked at Xiao, surprised, wondering what he was up to. "Kid! You trying to negotiate with me?" Douluo stalked closer, a wave of energy rolling off him like he could squash Xiao any second. Xiao didn't flinch. He just kept his eyes on Poison Douluo. Douluo. "Heh, interesting little brat." Douluo cranked up the pressure, 30 levels of soul power, 35. Xiao still didn't budge. Douluo was taken aback. Xiao didn't look much like his granddaughter Douluo, but the fact that he could stand up to level 35 soul power without breaking a sweat meant he was just as talented and strong. "Got some skill, huh? Let's see how long you last." Douluo ratcheted up the soul power to level 40. Finally, Douluo saw a flicker of discomfort on Xiao's face. He kept pushing, but this time, he turned the dial slowly. Level 41, level 45. Xiao was sweating bullets. He was at his limit, bent over and barely able to stand. Liu Erlong and the others looked worried. "They're all acting." Douluo seemed satisfied. "Not bad, kid. Not bad at all. Standing up to level 45 soul pressure at your age? Huh, I like your guts. Alright, here's the deal. If you're innocent, I'll let you go, and I'll even grant you one favor. But let's hear what you want first. If it's something ridiculous, not only am I not gonna do it, but you'll feel my wrath." Xiao said respectfully. "Senior Poison Douluo, our headmistress, Liu Erlong, just reached level 80 today and needs a soul ring. She's not confident about hunting a powerful soul beast on her own. I was hoping you'd help Teacher Erlong find one." That was the request. Liu Erlong was touched. They'd planned to work together to hunt the soul beast, but she wasn't super confident. Maybe they'd have to settle for a weaker one, but with Douluo's help, they could go after something much stronger. "Oh. Didn't know you were such a good kid." Douluo was starting to like Xiao more and more. He even had a passing thought about setting him up with Douluo. As far as Yu Tianheng went, Douluo wasn't thrilled. He didn't think Yu Tianheng and Douluo were a good match. Yu Tianheng was a direct descendant of the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon clan. If Douluo married him, the whole Douluo family would be tied to that clan. It would be better for the Douluo family to find someone to marry in. Of course, that someone had to meet Douluo's standards, and Xiao was looking pretty good right now. End of this chapter. Chapter 52 Tool Man, Liu Erlong's 2th Soul Skill. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 52, Tool Man. Liu Erlong's 8th Soul Skill. Alright, I agree to your request. Douluo said, suddenly realizing he'd fallen into Xiao's trap. Xiao was all gratitude. "Thank you, Senior Poison Douluo." Then, turning to Liu Erlong and the others, he said, "Teacher Erlong, let's get our storage soul guides out. If we've got nothing to hide, we've got nothing to fear. Let Senior Poison Douluo take a look. I'm sure he'll keep his word." Liu Erlong, Xiao Wu, and Zhu Zhuqing knew Xiao was pulling a fast one on Douluo. All the good stuff, the fairy grasses and other medicinal herbs from the ice and fire yin-yang well, were tucked away in his capture space. None of it was in their storage soul guides. They quietly played along. Everyone pulled out their storage soul guides for Douluo to inspect. Inside were the usual things: clothes, dry food, water, healing potions, and a few space-capturing fruits. Nothing special, certainly no herbs. No herbs, huh? Not them. Douluo handed back the storage soul guides. You're clear. You can go. Was this a setup? Xiao wasn't about to let him off the hook. Senior Poison Douluo, now please help us hunt a soul beast. Douluo glared. He still wanted to find the herb thief, but decided to stick to his word. What's the rush? I always keep my promises. I don't have all day. What kind of soul beast are you after? Xiao replied, our teacher Erlong has a fire dragon spirit. She needs a soul beast with a strong fire attribute for her 8th soul ring, with a cultivation period between 8 and 10,000 years, or close to 10,000 if possible. What did you say? Douluo thought he misheard. Close to 10,000 years. You expect her to absorb that? Usually, the 8th soul ring is around 5,000 years, and only the 9th is close to 10,000. Are you trying to pull my leg? Xiao explained, that's for ordinary people. Teacher Erlong has a high-quality martial spirit, a great physique, and incredible mental strength. She's far from ordinary and can handle something with a higher cultivation level. Douluo bristled. Was he being called ordinary, while Liu Erlong was a genius? Could an ordinary person become a title Douluo? Humph, Douluo scoffed. Don't bite off more than you can chew. I don't care what happens to you. Since you want to hunt a soul beast with high cultivation, I'll help you. Xiao was grateful. Senior Poison Douluo, you know Sunset Forest well. Surely you know where we could find a suitable soul beast. This kid. Douluo felt like he was being used. But he just wanted to get this over with. As luck would have it, I know of a fire lizard that's over 8,000 years old. Let's go. After I help you hunt it, I have things to do. Don't waste my time. A salamander over 8,000 years old. Perfect for Liu Erlong, Xiao and the others followed Douluo. After a couple of hours, they arrived at a scorching hot area, with abundant thermal energy. It's on that hill over there. The salamander's there. Douluo was direct. I'll flush it out. Everyone but Liu Erlong, stay back. Liu Erlong instructed, Xiao, keep them safe. Xiao, Xiao Wu, and Zhu Zhuqing retreated. Soon, a fire lizard emerged from the hill. Douluo led it toward them, and Liu Erlong engaged it. The two took on the salamander together. An 8,000-year-old salamander was comparable to a strong contra. Without Poison Douluo, it would have been a real struggle. Though Xiao could use his space control martial soul skills, the damage he dealt was minimal. A fight between him and Liu Erlong against the fire lizard would have been tough, but with Douluo as backup, it was a breeze. 10 minutes later, the salamander was defeated. The matter is over. I'm leaving. Douluo didn't want to stick around. He had to find that herb thief. The tool man was gone. Now Liu Erlong could absorb the spirit ring without worry. An 8,000-year-old salamander soul beast soul ring had a lot of fire power. After absorbing it, Liu Erlong's spirit power hit level 81, almost to level 82, affected by Liu Erlong's soul ring and increase in spirit power. Xiaoda's spirit power also broke through, reaching level 62, up more than a level. His second soul ring changed from black to red, becoming a 10,000-year soul ring. With the combined age of all of Liu Erlong's soul rings at 18,000 years, Xiaoda's current soul ring had the highest age. Xiaoda's 10,000-year spirit ring also gave him an extra spirit ability, just like the third ring did after reaching 10,000 years. Now Xiaoda had 5 soul rings, but because he had 2 10,000-year soul rings, he had 7 soul skills in total, 4 of which were from 10,000-year rings. Xiaoda leveled up. Zhu Zhuqing was surprised. She didn't know that Xiaoda capturing the space to bind her had provided him with a soul ring. Only Xiao Wu knew about this. Xiao Wu simply said, my brother's a genius. She knew Xiaoda leveled up because of Liu Erlong. Zhu Zhuqing agreed. He's a monster. There's no comparing him to anyone. Zhu Zhuqing only knew that, like Xiao Wu, Xiaoda could condense his own soul rings, and that they grew stronger and aged over time. Xiaoda was a true anomaly. Xiaoda, casually, said, just another little breakthrough. Xiao Wu and Zhu Zhuqing rolled their eyes. Soon after, Liu Erlong opened her eyes. I'm a contra now, and my power has increased a lot, especially my fire power. This fire lizard soul ring is brimming with fire attribute energy. Congratulations, Mother Erlong. Xiao Wu cheered. What's your 8th soul skill? Chao De and Zhu Zhuqing were curious as well. Ning Rongrong was still at the 7 treasure glazed tile school and wasn't back yet. Liu Erlong smiled, summoning her soul rings, 2 yellow, 2 purple, and 4 black, 8 rings in all. The 8th soul skill, Flame Dragon Explosion. Liu Erlong transformed into a flame dragon, condensing a high-energy fireball in her mouth. The fireball shot toward the hill, boom. The hill vanished, replaced by a smoldering crater. Liu Erlong, still in her dragon form, inhaled deeply, drawing the remaining flames into her mouth and leaving the ground clean. Chao De and the others were speechless. That's incredible. Zhu Zhuqing exclaimed. Xiao Wu shouted, Mother Erlong is awesome. Chao De laughed. Just as over the top as I expected. Once Liu Erlong returned to her original form, she said with a smile, pretty good, right? This soul skill also has a lock. Once it's locked on, there's no escaping. Amazing. Powerful. Chao De gave a thumbs up. Awesome, Teacher Erlong. Xiao Wu followed suit. Awesome, my Erlong mother. Zhu Zhuqing added, awesome, Dean Erlong. Chapter 53 Tang 3 You Exposed. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 53, Tang San, Busted. Wuhuan City sits smack dab in the middle of Douluo Continent, straddling the border between the Tiandou and Xinglua empires. It doesn't belong to either, it's controlled by a third power, the Spirit Hall, and inside Wuhuan City, you'll find the Pope's Palace. It's a seriously imposing place, guarded by a ton of contra-level experts from the Spirit Hall. Together, they could go toe-to-toe with even a title Douluo, plus, you've got Pope Bibi Dong, Chrysanthemum Douluo, and Ghost Douluo hanging around. Right now, Spirit Hall is the most powerful force on the whole Douluo continent. Inside the Pope's Palace, in the main hall, Pope Bibi Dong was chilling on her throne, looking down at Hulaina, Zhu Douluo, Ghost Douluo, and a few others. Hulaina and Ghost Douluo were standing on either side, while Zhu Douluo was kneeling on one knee right in the middle. Outrageous! Bibi Dong roared, practically radiating anger. I swear, everything I said is true. I didn't expect Chao De to be such a punk. I screwed up, couldn't bring him in. Zhu Douluo laid it all out for Bibi Dong, every single thing Chao De had said, including that crack about Bibi Dong being his woman. Even if Chao De was telling the truth, Bibi Dong was bound to take that as a major insult. No wonder she was flipping out. Hulaina, being Bibi Dong's student, was furious that Chao De disrespected her teacher. Teacher, let me take some people and bring Chao De in. That kind of psycho deserves to die. Zhu Douluo shot Hulaina a look, thinking, I couldn't even catch him. What makes you think you can? We can't just swarm him, we need a plan. After her initial explosion, Bibi Dong quickly got her act together. Nar, focus on getting ready for the Soul Master competition. I'll take care of this. Then, she turned to Chrysanthemum Douluo. Are you sure he had 2 black, 1 red, and 2 purple soul rings? And no twin martial souls? Zhu Douluo was firm. Your Majesty, I saw it with my own eyes. Chao De's still pretty young, no older than 20, I'd say. According to our intel, he's been keeping his martial soul, or his space-based skills, under wraps. It's too unique to spot even when he uses it. It's highly unlikely he's got twin martial souls, and he denies it himself. He even mentioned knowing that you have twin martial souls. Oh, and he brought up someone else who has them, too. A guy named Tang San. Yeah, Tang San. Chao De said Tang San's got twin spirits, just like you, Your Majesty. Tang San. Surname Tang. Bibi Dong said, Tang San. Chao De says he has twin spirits. Has he been investigated? Chrysanthemum Douluo said, when I was in Silva City, I already had people looking into whether anyone by that name was in the Silvis or Barak kingdoms, since Chao De's been hanging around there for the past year. Shouldn't take long. If Tang San's registered at any branch hall, we'll have his info. Bibi Dong nodded. Have all the branch halls find Tang San. If he really has twin spirits, bring him back to the Pope's palace. Ugh, great. If Tang San really has twin spirits, teacher will probably take him on as a disciple. Then where will I be? Hulaina thought, a little worried. Report. Your Majesty, urgent message from Soto City in the Barak Kingdom. They said it needs to go straight to you. A guard announced from outside. Could this be about Tang San? Bibi Dong nodded to Hulaina to bring the message. Hulaina grabbed the letter, walked back, and handed it over. Bibi Dong opened it, saw Tang San's name, and her expression changed. So it's him. Hulaina asked, Teacher, does Tang San really have twin spirits? Bibi Dong set the letter down, looked at the three of them, and said, Tang San is real, and it's likely he's got twin spirits. For now, he's only showing a blue-silver grass spirit. Hulaina was shocked. Teacher, isn't blue-silver grass a useless martial soul? Exactly. Isn't blue-silver grass supposed to be total garbage? How could someone with a trash martial soul have twin martial souls? Chrysanthemum Douluo and Ghost Douluo were equally puzzled. Bibi Dong crossed her legs, settling into a more comfortable position. Have you ever seen a blue-silver grass martial soul awakened with full soul power? Tang San's martial soul was awakened by someone from the spirit hall, a guy named Su Yuntao. Everyone who gets their spirit awakened through the spirit hall gets a file made. It's possible to track down what happened with Tang San when he awakened, a blue-silver grass martial soul, awakened with full soul power. Something's definitely up. Most people wouldn't give it a second thought, but Bibi Dong and her crew weren't most people. Ghost Douluo said, I'm betting that blue-silver grass isn't just ordinary blue-silver grass. How else could it have full soul power at awakening? Hulaina chimed in, maybe it's because Tang San has twin spirits. It's possible. Twin martial souls are rare, and we don't know much about them, Bibi Dong said. Twin spirits, they say the quality of both spirits is usually similar, almost identical. Blue-silver grass is a trash spirit, so the other one should be trash, too. Two useless martial souls wouldn't give him full soul power at birth. Twin martial souls with full soul power at birth means both martial souls are at least decent. Which means, that blue-silver grass is no ordinary blue-silver grass. She looked at Zhu Douluo and Ghost Douluo. You two should know where this blue-silver grass spirit comes from. You've seen Tang San's mother. What? Chrysanthemum Douluo and Ghost Douluo were drawing a blank. A blue-silver grass martial soul is nothing, they wouldn't remember ever seeing one. Seeing their confusion, Bibi Dong dropped a name, Tang Hao. Does that ring any bells? Tang Hao. Hearing that name, Zhu Douluo and Ghost Douluo instinctively flinched, before quickly regaining their composure. Tang Hao, blue-silver grass, Tang San, wait a minute. Zhu Douluo realized. Your Majesty, are you saying Tang San is Tang Hao's son, and Tang San's mother is? Now it makes sense. Ghost Douluo finally got it, too. Only Hulaina was still clueless. What are you two talking about? Who's Tang San's mother? Tang Hao. Hulaina knew him. He was an enemy of the spirit hall. Now it turned out Tang San was his kid. Zhu Douluo and Ghost Douluo looked at Bibi Dong, seeing if she'd let them spill the beans. After all, this involved the previous pope. Old Ghost, you want to tell the story? Zhu Douluo said. Tang San's blue-silver grass spirit isn't complete, because her mother has the blue-silver emperor. The blue-silver emperor is the king of the blue-silver grass, a 100,000-year soul beast, that's right. Tang San's mother, Tang Hao's wife, is a 100,000-year soul beast, the blue-silver emperor. Tang San's other spirit has to be the clear sky hammer. Your Holiness, Tang Hao is an enemy of Spirit Hall, Tang San is his son, and he has twin martial souls. We can't let him live. He has to be wiped out. Tang Hao alone scared the Spirit Hall half to death. If Tang San grew up, he could bring the whole place down. Tang San was way more dangerous than Chowda. The Spirit Hall didn't have any deep-seated hatred for Chowda. Chapter 54 Bibi Dong, If I Can't Get Him, I Will Destroy Him. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Hulayina had never heard of the Blue Silver Emperor before. What really shocked her was learning that Tang Hao's wife, Tang San's mom, was actually 100,000-year soul beast. So, people and soul beasts can have offspring. Who knew? Tang San. Hulayina filed the name away. He wasn't just Tang Hao's son, his mom was a super powerful soul beast, he possessed 2 strong spirits, and he was a potential threat to the spirit hall. All the marks of a dangerous man, Ghost Douluo chimed in, agreeing with Ju Douluo. Tang San's got talent to burn. Tang Hao's probably been watching their backs. If we want to take them out, we need to be ready. They didn't want a repeat of the Chihiro Ji mess. Bibi Dong spoke. Intel says Tang Hao vanished after Tang San started at Notting City Soul Master Academy. He hasn't come looking for revenge at the Spirit Hall, which means he's got something holding him back. Tang San's moved on from Notting City and Soto City, he's headed for Heaven-Do City, and he's probably there by now. Taking out Tang Hao and Tang San in Heaven-Do City will be tough. We need to play the long game here, get everything lined up, and strike with one shot to avoid any comeback. Have the Heaven-Do City branch keep tabs on Tang San, and see if they can find Tang Hao. Chrysanthemum Douluo and the others understood. The Spirit Hall had bigger fish to fry right now, and didn't have resources to spare on Tang Hao and Tang San. Dealing with Tang Hao and Tang San could wait until after the main event. Tang San needed time to get strong, and the Spirit Hall had time to kill. Ju Douluo spoke up. Your Majesty, think Xiao Wu told us about Tang San on purpose? Could he know Tang San's Tang Hao's kid? Or maybe he's got a beef with the Spirit Hall. Ghost Douluo added, Xiao Wu trying to use us. Does he have a grudge against Tang San or Tang Hao? Hulayina scoffed. Him. Trying to play us? Please. We'll get him in Tang San. She still held a grudge against Xiao Wu for disrespecting her teacher. Bibi Dong dismissed the idea. Whatever he's planning, it won't change what the Spirit Hall does. Xiao Wu's martial soul rings, and soul skills are unique. We need to figure out how to contain him. He's tight with the 7 Treasures Glazed Tile School. Watch them closely, and we'll find him eventually. Once we do, hold back. Get to know him. Everyone's got a weakness, find his, and he'll be easy to handle. Yes, Your Majesty. The 3 responded. Nar, leave the Xiao Wu situation to the 2 elders. Keep me posted. You, keep prepping for the Soul Master competition. That's all. You're dismissed. Bibi Dong gave her orders, and the others left. After Hulayina and the others were gone, Bibi Dong picked up the letter and reread it, whispering, Xiao Gang. I didn't think I'd hear from you. Bibi Dong wasn't in a rush to go after Tang San, not just because of the Spirit Hall's plans, but because Yu Xiaojiang was Tang San's teacher. Old feelings die hard, though, little by little, that love was turning into something else. Bibi Dong knew her relationship with Yu Xiaojiang was beyond repair, but she felt wronged and hurt. Yu Xiaojiang never learned the truth. Instead of trusting her, he'd accused her, and what stung most was that after leaving her, Yu Xiaojiang had found someone new. Liu Erlong. Bibi Dong loved, hated, and resented Yu Xiaojiang all at once. She crushed the letter in her hand, looked out the window, and vowed, Yu Xiaojiang, if I can't have you, I'll destroy you, and everyone you care about. That the woman had gone off the deep end, the Rakshasa god's influence was twisting her into something evil. Xiao Wu had no idea what Bibi Dong was plotting. He just casually dropped Tang San's name to see if the Spirit Hall would bite. Whether they went after Tang San or not wasn't his problem, as long as they left him alone. Back at Lanba Academy, after Liu Erlong got her 8th spirit ring, Xiao Wu and the others made their way back to the academy. Where've you guys been? Ning Rong had returned to Lanba Academy, only to find Xiao Wu and the others missing. Ning Fengji and Sword Douluo had tagged along, hoping to see Xiao Wu, but since he wasn't around, they'd had to head back to deal with business at the 7 Treasure Glazed Tile School, promising to visit later. Rong, when did you get back? Xiao Wu asked. Ning Rong replied, yesterday. Dad and Grandpa Jian came too, wanting to see you, but they left when you weren't here. Xiao Wu responded, there will be opportunities in the future. Here, have some fruit. Liu Erlong brought out a plate of freshly washed fruit. Xiao Wu told Ning Rongrong, Rongrong, you missed so much. These past few days have been wild. Guess what? I'm a soul king now, Zhuqing's a soul sect, and Erlong's a soul sage. Crazy, right? Surprise. Ning Rongrong's jaw dropped, she couldn't believe it. No way. I've only been gone for a few days. There's no way you could have improved so quickly. Did you use a secret elixir from the spatial Diayutai to boost your soul power? Tell me. Xiao Wu pulled out the box he prepared, containing the Qilua tulip, and handed it to Ning Rongrong. Rongrong, this is a fairy grass. It's perfect for you. We stumbled upon some. It boosted our soul power by a few levels, and then we went to Sunset Forest to get our spirit rings. Zhu Zhuqing added, that's how we did it. Once you take the fairy grass, you'll level up fast and your soul power can exceed 40 levels. Liu Erlong cautioned, Rongrong, keep it to yourself. Xiao Wu got this fairy grass from Douluo Bo, and Douluo Bo doesn't even know he has them. Xiao Wu urged, Rongrong, eat the fairy grass and see how much stronger you get. Ning Rongrong was still processing everything. Fairy grass. Never heard of it. Is it really that amazing? Xiao Wu gave Ning Rongrong the quick rundown. I'll take it right now. After hearing about Xiao Wu's improvement, Ning Rongrong couldn't wait to try her fairy grass. After refining and absorbing the Qilua tulip, Ning Rongrong's soul power jumped from level 35 to level 41, her whole vibe changed. Her physique, martial soul, and spiritual power all leveled up. Her martial soul, in particular, had undergone a major transformation. Ning Rongrong didn't catch it at first. Zhu Zhuqing was the one who noticed. Rongrong, your 7 treasures glazed pagoda has 9 floors now. Let me see. Xiao Wu crowded in, counted, and exclaimed, oh my gosh, it's true. 9 floors. What happened? Did your martial spirit mutate? Liu Erlong looked at Xiao Wu, who had said the fairy grass had no side effects, and still felt a little uneasy. Is this a good thing or a bad thing? Ning Rongrong was already thrilled and overexcited. Of course, it's a good thing. It's amazing. She suddenly looked at Xiao Wu. Xiao Wu, already in the know, put on a surprised face for dramatic effect. Playwright Xiao Wu was back online, he just didn't expect the familiar scene to happen to him next. Chapter 55 Rong can't help her emotions. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ning Rongrong suddenly ran up to Xiao Wu and planted a kiss right on him, catching everyone totally off guard. Had something already been going on between Ning Rongrong and Xiao Wu? Liu Erlong glanced at Xiao Wu, a question in her eyes. Knew it. Xiao Wu said, like she'd been expecting something like this all along. Zhu Zhuqing was taken aback by Ning Rongrong's boldness. Xiao Wu, initially stunned, couldn't help but want to pull Ning Rongrong into a hug, but Ning Rongrong, cheeks flushed after her impulsive move, lowered her head and said, Xiao Wu, thank you. The 9 treasures glazed tile pagoda means so much to me, and to the whole 7 treasures glazed tile school. I don't even know how to repay you. Xiao Wu said, only half joking, how about you promise me anything? Ning Rongrong's blush deepened, and she quickly changed the subject. The 9 treasures glazed tile pagoda martial soul showing up in our family, it was so long ago. I figured it would never happen again. I never expected my martial soul to actually transform. I'm just so happy. Thanks to the captured space, Ning Rongrong was already head over heels for Xiao Wu, and would never be interested in another guy. This event only cemented her feelings for him, though she wasn't fully aware of the shift within herself. She continued, still focused on her martial soul, even though our 7 treasures glazed tile school is one of the top 3 on the Douluo Continent, we can't quite compete with the Clear Sky School, mainly because of the limitations of the 7 treasure glazed tile pagoda martial soul. That martial soul has a ceiling. It stops at level 79, and can't break through to level 80. But the 9 treasures glazed tile pagoda martial soul is different. It's complete. There are no limits to soul power. It can reach soul Douluo, even title Douluo. Do you even realize what this means for the 7 treasure glazed tile school? Xiao Wu and the others weren't dumb. They understood perfectly that as Ning Rongrong matured, and if her martial soul had no limits, reaching the Contra or title Douluo level, the 7 treasure glazed tile school would skyrocket in power, maybe even becoming the strongest soul master force on the entire Douluo continent. Xiao wasn't nearly as impressed. He knew that Tang San, Qian Renxue, and Bibi Dong were basically cheating. Compared to becoming a god, who cared about being a title Douluo, or the 7 treasure glazed tile sect becoming number 1. Before gods, you were nothing. Xiao had the ultimate cheat in capturing space. If he didn't try to become a god, he'd be wasting his advantage, and wasting his second chance at life. I see, Liu Erlong said thoughtfully. Rong, you need to be extra careful from now on. Don't let too many people know about the 9 treasures glazed tile pagoda martial soul, or some people will freak out. I understand, Ning Rongrong nodded. Xiao Wu added, don't worry too much. We're here for you. We'll protect you, Rongrong. Zhu Zhuqing agreed, we're in this together, for better or worse. Xiao chimed in, with me around, nothing's going to happen to you. Liu Erlong smiled, you're all still kids. Your teacher will protect you. Ning Rongrong, deeply touched, said, Teacher Erlong, Xiao Wu, Zhuqing, Xiao, it's amazing to have you all. She started to cry. Why are you crying? This is a good thing. You should be happy. Xiao Wu said, hugging Ning Rongrong to comfort her. After a few moments, Ning Rongrong calmed down. Xiao spoke, Rongrong, now you can go after your 4th spirit ring. Zhuqing's 4th spirit ring is over 10,000 years old, and yours can be too. Zhu Zhuqing wordlessly released her spirit rings, displaying them for all to see. 4 rings surrounded her, yellow, purple, and black. The 4th black soul ring was stunning. Xiao Wu gasped, amazing. Rong, you can do it too. I'm regretting things now. I should have waited a little longer back then. My 4th spirit ring could have been a 10,000-year one. Ning Rongrong was still trying to wrap her head around getting a 10,000-year soul ring for the 4th one. Seeing Zhu Zhuqing's, she was blown away. The 4th soul ring, a 10,000-year ring. I never would have imagined it. I can't believe we actually did it. She looked at Xiao, knowing that he was the source of this incredible change, this unbelievable man. Xiao announced, tomorrow, we'll head to Sunset Forest to get Rongrong her 4th soul ring. Liu Erlong hesitated, how about I go with Rongrong, and you stay at the academy to train? She was worried about running into Dugubo again. That Poison Douluo was unpredictable, and who knew what could happen if they crossed paths. Xiao reassured her, if there's any danger, you can just duck into my space. Then you can train in there. Don't worry about it, Teacher Erlong. Right, there was Xiao's weird space. Okay, then, Liu Erlong agreed, her worries easing. At dinner, Chenli and her daughter Mai Xiang were invited to join them, mainly to continue feeding them ingredients from the captured space, hoping to keep improving their physiques and see just how far they could go. Their talents were limited, and Xiao wasn't willing to waste the fairy grass on them. Those fairy grasses were rare, and Xiao was saving them for the few remaining people he needed to bind. Chenli and Mai Xiang were delighted to hear that Xiao and the others had returned, though a little disappointed to learn they'd be leaving again in a few days. They also knew they couldn't rely on Xiao and his friends forever. They needed to work hard and keep practicing. The college had already arranged things for them. If they didn't, they'd be anxious. No one drank any alcohol that night. Chenli and Mai Xiang couldn't enter the captured space, so they had to return to their own quarters. Xiao and the others all went to the villa in the captured space. Originally, Xiao wanted to sleep with Liu Erlong in her room, but she felt awkward, afraid Xiao Wu and the others would notice something, so she asked Xiao to be patient. Defeated, Xiao could only join them in the captured space, training together, fishing together, and sleeping near each other. When Xiao had gotten his first 10,000-year soul ring, the captured space had changed. The island had become bigger, with more villas, fruit trees, and so on. But this time, after getting his second 10,000-year soul ring, the captured space didn't seem to have changed at all. Chowda had been looking forward to it. The next day, everyone had breakfast together before heading out. Safe travels, Brother Chow. My Xiang and Chenli saw them off after the meal. Chowda had Liu Erlong and the others enter the captured space, then used his space-jumping soul skill to speed towards their destination. A few hours later, they arrived at Sunset Forest. He then brought Liu Erlong and the others out of the captured space. Chowda already had a target in mind. When I was helping teacher Erlong and Zhu Qing find their soul beasts, I kept an eye out and found one that's perfect for Ning Rongrong. Follow me. Ning Rongrong smiled, and thanked him. Chowda, you're so sweet. Thank you. She kissed him on the cheek. She'd already kissed him on the lips, so what was a little peck on the face? Xiao Wu muttered, Rongrong's getting bold. Zhu Qing, standing beside her, asked quietly, aren't you worried Rongrong's going to steal your man? But Xiao Wu replied, he won't leave me. But I can't stop other people from liking him. He's also a bit of a flirt. There probably won't be just one woman. Zhu Qing was taken aback for a moment, and didn't say anything, lost in thought. Chowda was a bit of a flirt. Zhu Qing knew that, in the captive space, Chowda could always find a good reason to take advantage of them, and she was no exception. Gradually, she'd gotten used to it, and didn't mind Chowda's occasional advances. She actually thought it was kind of nice, she just hadn't thought about it much yet, about being with Chowda. Since Chowda and Xiao Wu were already together, it wouldn't be easy to compete with a good friend, but Ning Rongrong's current behavior was changing Zhu Qing's mind, and combined with Xiao Wu's attitude, Zhu Qing couldn't help but think about it. The captured space's effects were truly powerful. Once you were bound, it was hard to escape. End of this chapter. Chapter 56. The plot shifted. Tang San and the others joined the Tiandou Royal Academy. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Heaven-Do City, at the front gates of Heaven-Do Royal Academy. Wow, impressive. Just what you'd expect from the Royal Academy. Fatty Ma Hongjun exclaimed, standing before the entrance. Check it out, Dean, a real Soul Master Academy. Compared to this, Shrek Academy was a joke. Knock it off. Flender snapped, kicking Ma Hongjun. If he'd had the resources, he would have made Shrek Academy just as grand, but fate hadn't been kind. Now, Shrek Academy was gone, and they were about to join Heaven-Do Royal Academy. Fatty, what's with the jealousy? We're about to be students here ourselves. Oscar said, slinging an arm around Ma Hongjun's shoulder with a lecherous grin. Bet there are tons of beautiful girls waiting inside. Oscar had given up on Ning Rongrong, deciding it was a lost cause. He wasn't going to get hung up on her when there were plenty of other fish in the sea. Dai Mubai and Tang San, however, were still thinking of Zhu Qing and Xiao Wu. Tang San had a feeling he'd see Xiao Wu again in Heaven-Do City. He was training hard and had reached level 33, Dai Mubai was at level 39, Oscar level 32, and Ma Hongjun level 31. All four were serious soul masters, geniuses through and through, and packed with soul power. Alright, let's head in, Yu Xiaojiang said, determined to start a new chapter at Heaven-Do Royal Academy, hoping to mold Tang San and the others into exceptional talents. Zhao Wuji, Xiao Xian, Li Yusong, Lu Qibin, and the rest of the faculty came along as well. All of Shrek Academy's teachers and students were there, though the Shrek 7 devils were no more. Upon arriving at Heaven-Do Royal Academy, they didn't encounter Prince Shuibang, who tried to block their entry, as the story had changed. The guard notified Qin Ming, who soon arrived to welcome Flender and the others. Principal, teachers, students, welcome to Heaven-Do Royal Academy. Come on, I'll take you to meet the education committee. I've already told them about Shrek Academy, and they've agreed to the merger. Now it's just a formality, a meet and greet. Yu Xiaojiang nodded, as it should be. They followed Qin Ming. On the way, Qin Ming explained the academy's structure. Heaven-Do Royal Academy doesn't have a single president. It's managed by an education committee. Oscar and Ma Hongjun were too busy ogling the female students, whispering crude comments about their figures. Isn't that teacher Qin Ming? Who are those people with him? Never seen them before. Probably here on official business. Some students who passed by Flender and the others murmured. Before they knew it, they'd reached the office building and were ushered into a large office to meet the 3 members of the Education Committee. Education Committee members, the teachers and students from Shrek Academy have arrived. Qin Ming introduced them. Dean Flender, this is Chief Education Committee member Meng Xinji, and Level 86 Control Type Contra. This is Second Education Committee member by Baoshan, and Level 85 Defense Type Contra, and this is Jilin, the Third Education Committee member, and Level 82 Control Type Contra. And these 3 are Flender, the Dean of Shrek Academy, a Level 78 Agility Type Soul Sage, Fudo Ming Wang Zhao Wuji, Jelly Bean Xiao Xian, Dragon Sticker Li Yusong, Xingluki Master Lu Qibin, and Professor Yu Xiaojiang. These 4 are Shrek Academy students: Dai Mubai, a Level 39 Assault Type Evil-Eyed White Tiger, 15 years old, Oscar, a Level 32 Food Type Sausage Soul Master, 14 years old, Tang San, a Level 33 Blue Silver Grass Control Type Soul Master, 12 years old, with maxed out soul power, and Ma Hongjun, Level 31, Evil Fire Phoenix Soul Master. Shrek Academy, including Yu Xiaojiang, had 6 teachers, including 3 Soul Sages, 2 Soul Emperors, and 1 Great Soul Master. The 4 students were young Soul Masters, all of them geniuses. Even though Qin Ming had already told them, Meng Xinji, Bai Baishan, and Jilin were still amazed when they saw them in person. This influx of talent would significantly boost Heaven-Do Imperial Academy's overall strength, and Tang San and the other students were exceptional, far surpassing the Academy's current students, all of them gifted. From now on, they would be part of Heaven-Do Royal Academy. Dean Flender, teachers, students, welcome to Heaven-Do Royal Academy, Meng Xinji said. Meng Xinji didn't test Tang San, as the story had gone off in a different direction. Back in Soto City, with the Shrek 7 devils gone, Tang San and the others hadn't fought Yu Tianheng and the Huangdo team, so Qin Ming couldn't speak to Tang San's combat skills to Meng Xinji, so no one would come to test Tang San's strength. In this way, Tang San missed an opportunity to show off. Flender and the others successfully joined Heaven-Do Royal Academy, and Qin Ming helped them get settled in. After they left, Meng Xinji and the 2 other members of the Education Committee discussed the situation. Meng Xinji, Shrek Academy's 4 students are all geniuses. We should have them join the second team of Heaven-Do Royal Academy and have them participate in the Soul Master competition. Bai Baoshan agreed. Jilin, wow, a food type with full soul power and a blue silver grass with full soul power, both having reached the Soul Master level. Both of them are monsters. The other 2 are geniuses too, and all 4 of them are better than any of the students we have. We should train them well. Sunset Forest, Ning Rongrong was absorbing a spirit ring, taken from a defensive spirit beast over 1,000 years old. Liu Erlong had crippled the beast, allowing Ning Rongrong to take the spirit ring. Qiao De, Xiao Wu, Zhu Zhuqing, and Liu Erlong were on guard. This time, they had a clear goal, so everything went smoothly. After absorbing the spirit ring, Ning Rongrong had 4 spirit rings, yellow, purple, and black. Her soul power had risen to level 42, making her a soul sect. Qiaoda's 4th spirit ring had changed from purple to black when Ning Rongrong got her 10,000-year spirit ring. Now Qiaoda had 5 spirit rings, black, red, black, and black. At the same time, Qiaoda's soul power had surged, reaching level 63. Ning Rongrong had been boosted by the immortal herb, then leaped forward to absorb the spirit ring, and her soul power improved again, and all of it benefited Qiaoda, leading to a breakthrough. My 4th soul skill is defense boost. And I'm a soul sect now. Ning Rongrong now had 4 soul skills: speed boost, strength boost, soul power boost, and defense boost. Since we're back in Sunset Forest, let's not rush back, Qiaoda suggested. Let's fight the spirit beasts here and refine our current strength. My soul skills are too specialized, so I'll sit this one out, and teacher Erlong too. We'll keep an eye out for any danger. Xiao Wu, Zhu Qing, Rong, the three of you should work together. Everyone agreed. They spent the next 6 days in Sunset Forest, fighting a variety of spirit beasts each day. Xiao Wu, Zhu Zhuqing, and Ning Rongrong were constantly getting injured. Despite having healing medicine, Tiandou realized they needed a dedicated healing soul master. Liu Erlong said, "The academy has a good healing soul master. Her name is Jiangzhu, and I was planning on letting her join your team for the soul master competition." Crimson, ah. Tiandou remembered the name and thought of Tai Long and Jing Ling too. There was one more, but he couldn't quite recall the name. "That's about enough," Tiandou said. "We'll rest in the space for tonight and head back to Lanba Academy tomorrow morning." They had achieved their objective, and there was little to be gained by staying longer. Chapter 57 Night, Chat, Do What You Want. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Inside the captured space. Hold still, I'm putting medicine on you. It itches a little. Stop looking around. I wasn't looking. Just stay still, all of you. Bear with it, and we'll get through this. Tiandou was applying medicine to Xiao Wu, Ning Rongrong, and Zhu Zhuqing, who were all wearing beach outfits. They'd been fighting spirit beasts, and their bodies, especially their hands and feet, had taken some hits. Even though it was just surface wounds, they needed the medicine to prevent scarring. Beach clothes made it easier to apply the stuff. Xiao swore he wasn't trying to get a cheap thrill, he was just being efficient. Sure, they'd worn beachwear before when they asked Tiandou to put on sunscreen, and he'd already enjoyed that. But every time, their shyness, their blushing, combined with their figures and looks, was a major perk for Xiao. He never got tired of it. Tiandou wasn't pushing it too far, he could always build on this. Xiao Wu also got shy and blushed, but she was the most outgoing of the three. After all, she considered herself Tiandou's woman. "Hey, I've got a scratch on my thigh, too. Don't miss it. I don't want a scar. Don't worry. I've got you covered," Tiandou promised. "I won't let you get any scars. If you get scars and can't get married, then marry me." Ning Rongrong said shyly, "Dream on. You think you're going to marry all three of us? Even if Xiao Wu's okay with that, Zhuqing and I definitely won't let it happen." "Easy," Zhu Zhuqing said suddenly. Tiandou was putting medicine on Xiao Wu and Zhu Zhuqing at the same time, and he accidentally pressed down a little harder than he should have. He squinted, lost in the moment, and didn't quite catch what Ning Rongrong had said. Xiao Wu turned over, and her front was definitely eye-catching. Seeing Tiandou staring, she felt a surge of pride. Her body must be working its magic on him. "Hey, stop staring. You're such a perv." Ning Rongrong also turned over, snagging Tiandou's attention. She said, a little embarrassed, "Pervert. Haven't you seen enough already?" Tiandou kept applying the medicine, playing it cool. "If I don't look now, I won't get another chance once you all marry someone else. But if you all married me, I could look whenever I wanted." "Yeah, right. Keep dreaming. Just you wait. Okay, we can put the medicine on the rest of ourselves. We're not letting you keep ogling us. Yeah. You can go now. This is none of your business anymore." The three women shooed Tiandou away. Tiandou left reluctantly, a smile on his face, and headed toward the kitchen. Liu Erlong was cooking, wearing an apron, which was its own special look. "Hey, Erlong, you look gorgeous like that." Tiandou wrapped his arms around Liu Erlong from behind. Liu Erlong blushed a little, glanced at the kitchen door, and, seeing they were alone, said, "What if they see us?" "They'll find out eventually," Tiandou whispered in Liu Erlong's ear, his breath making her skin tingle. "Should I come to your room tonight, or should you come to mine?" Liu Erlong composed herself and shook her head. "Not tonight. I'm planning to sleep with Xiao Wu and have a heart-to-heart. I want to talk to her about being a spirit beast. I think she needs to know that besides you, there's a friend who really cares about her and accepts her for who she is." Tiandou thought for a moment. "Sounds good. Xiao Wu will be happy to know you're okay with it. After you talk to her, I'll have a chat, too. If it feels right, I'll let Rong and Zhuqing in on it, too." The sooner they knew, the better it would be for Xiao Wu. Everyone could be open and honest with each other, with no secrets. Okay, I think that's good. As Liu Erlong was speaking, the sneaky Chowda suddenly spun her around and kissed her. After a while, they broke apart. Liu Erlong scolded him, "You really are insatiable." Then she glanced down at Chowda and smirked. "Serves you right. Let's see how you handle tonight." Chowda just laughed and said cheerfully, "I'll help you cook." Teamwork made everything go faster. Before they knew it, the food was ready and on the dining table in the living room. Xiao Wu and the other two had already put on long robes, their figures hidden, which somehow made Xiao want them more. Soon after dinner, Xiao Wu, Zhu Zhuqing, and Ning Rongrong felt tired from fighting the spirit beast and went to bed. Xiao Wu went into Liu Erlong's room, leaving Chowda alone in his empty room. Liu Erlong and Xiao Wu were under the same quilt, talking softly. After a few minutes, Liu Erlong stopped talking and looked Xiao Wu in the eye. "Mom, what's wrong?" Xiao Wu was confused. Liu Erlong said, "Xiao Wu, whatever happens, just know that I'll always be honest with you." Xiao Wu's heart skipped a beat. She thought Liu Erlong was going to talk about Chowda. Lately, Xiao Wu and the others had noticed something going on between Liu Erlong and Chowda. Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing didn't think much of it, but Xiao Wu had Chowda figured out. She figured Liu Erlong was going to drop a bomb, or maybe even steal Chowda away. Xiao Wu wasn't willing to leave Chowda, no matter what. The capture space had done its work, and Chowda had already won her over. There was no going back. If Xiao Wu left Chowda, she wouldn't be able to go on. But Liu Erlong's next word surprised her. "Xiao Wu, whether you're a spirit beast or a human, you're my daughter, my family, my friend. I'll always protect you and keep others from hurting you." Xiao Wu was stunned. She always knew that Liu Erlong would find out eventually, but she was always worried that someone wouldn't be able to accept that she was a spirit beast. Seeing Xiao Wu dazed, Liu Erlong hugged her tightly, offering warmth, acceptance, and sincerity. Xiao Wu snapped out of it and looked up at Liu Erlong. "Really?" Liu Erlong felt a pang of guilt but held it back and comforted her. "Xiao Wu, you'll always be my goddaughter, no, my real daughter." "Mom!" Xiao Wu snuggled into Liu Erlong's arms and cried. After Xiao Wu recovered, Liu Erlong said, "Don't blame Chowda. He told me that he wants you to be happy, too." Xiao Wu nodded. "I understand. He's always been so kind to me." Liu Erlong said, "He thinks Rongrong and Zhuqing are also sincere to you and wants you to talk to them, tell them everything. They'll definitely accept you, and you can all be honest with each other. It'll bring you closer together." Xiao Wu didn't hesitate. "I trust my brother, and I trust Rongrong and Zhuqing, too." It had been tough keeping her secret about being a soul beast from Ning Rongrong and the others. She'd feel much better if everyone knew the truth and accepted her. The two of them talked late into the night before finally falling asleep. The next day, after Chowda and Xiao Wu exchanged qi, they looked seriously at Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing. "What's wrong? Didn't you sleep well?" Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing looked confused. Chowda said to them, "I'm going to tell you a secret. It's about Xiao Wu's past. After you hear it, you can't tell anyone else." Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing were surprised. They didn't know anything about Xiao Wu's past and didn't want to pry until Xiao Wu decided to tell them. They nodded solemnly. The next moment, right in front of them, Xiao Wu suddenly disappeared, and then they saw a cute rabbit in Chowda's hand. Chapter 58 Formation of the Lanba Academy Team. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing were totally stunned. Was this some kind of trick? Where had Xiao Wu gone? Had she turned into a rabbit? Then, the rabbit in Chowda's hand spoke, and they recognized the voice. "Rongrong, Zhuqing, it's me, Xiao Wu." The rabbit was Xiao Wu. Unbelievable. How could this be? Xiao Wu. Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing were speechless for a moment. Chowda explained, "Actually, Xiao Wu is a soul beast who took human form after cultivating for 10,000 years. She hasn't reached full maturity yet. When she hits level 60, she'll be completely human." A 10,000-year soul beast turning into a human? Zhu Zhuqing and Ning Rongrong had never encountered anything like this before. They were understandably shocked. Xiao Wu was really a human, transformed from a 10,000-year soul beast. They were floored. The rabbit hopped out of Chowda's hand and transformed back into Xiao Wu. Ning Rongrong just stared and stammered, "This." Zhu Zhuqing was equally speechless. Liu Erlong chimed in, "I didn't tell you at first because I wasn't sure how you'd react. But after getting to know you both, I could see your sincerity, so I decided to tell you." Xiao Wu looked at Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing expectantly, hoping for their acceptance. Suddenly, Ning Rongrong ran over and hugged Xiao Wu, grinning. "What a surprise! I can't believe, Xiao Wu, you're a 10,000-year soul beast. Now I've got a super cool sister who's a 10,000-year soul beast. This is awesome." Those words said it all. Xiao Wu was deeply touched, tears welling up in her eyes. "Thank you, Rongrong." Zhu Zhuqing joined the hug. "Xiao Wu, it doesn't matter if you're human or soul beast. You're still the Xiao Wu we know, and will be sisters for life." For Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing, the fact that Xiao Wu was a soul beast was surprising, but it didn't really matter. They'd built a strong friendship, and one revelation wasn't going to change that. "Thank you," sob. Xiao Wu cried. Liu Erlong joined the group hug. "Hey, don't leave me out." Chowda, not wanting to be left out, jumped in for a hug. The atmosphere was good, and nobody pushed him away. 10 minutes later, they finally separated. The four girls glared at Chowda. He'd been a little too handsy during the hug. Chowda acted innocent. "All right, it's time for us to head back to Lanba Academy. You girls stay here, and I'll be on my way." He disappeared, leaving the captured space. The four girls exchanged smiles. Ning Rongrong suggested, "Let's go fishing for a while." If they needed to eat ingredients from the captured space, they had to catch some fish and seafood. Given their current levels, Liu Erlong could fish 8 times a day, Xiao Wu 5, and Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing 4. Fishing yielded a variety of fish and seafood. These ingredients were special, helping with cultivation, improving physical fitness, and tasting great. They were an essential part of their daily diet. Later that afternoon, Chowda arrived back at Lanba Academy and went straight to Liu Erlong's residence. He then brought Liu Erlong and the others out of the captive space, along with the lunch they'd prepared. They invited Chen Li and Mai Xiang over to join them. Chen Li's soul power was now at level 9, and Mai Xiang's was at level 8. "Chen Li, Mai Xiang, if your soul power can reach level 10, it'll mean a significant improvement in your physique and talent. It'll mean you can truly become soul masters." Chowda hoped they would succeed, as it would make the ingredients and fruits from the captured space even more effective. He wanted to use them to train talented individuals in the future. Chen Li said, "We wouldn't be where we are now without you." "Thank you." They were deeply grateful. Liu Erlong said, "Don't be so formal. You're both members of Lanba Academy now. We're all in this together." A few days later, 4 strangers arrived at Liu Erlong's residence. Tai Long, Huang Yuan, Jing Ling, and Jiangzhu. Tai Long eyed Liu Erlong's house. "The headmaster actually lives here. It's kind of shabby." Jiangzhu added, "The headmaster must be someone who likes to keep things simple." Huang Yuan wondered, "What do you think the headmaster wants us for?" Jing Ling guessed, "I heard the academy is forming a team to participate in the Continental Advanced Soul Master Academy Elite competition in a year and a half. We're the most talented students right now, so we should be on the team." Tai Long looked at the others. "There are only 4 of us. A team needs at least 7, preferably 11. We're way short. Are there any other outstanding students in the academy besides us?" Jiangzhu said, "We all joined Lanba Academy last year. You might have heard about a senior student called Xiao Wu. Before we got here, she was already a soul sect, but she's been out training. I don't know if she'll be back." Xiao Wu was well known in Lanba Academy, while Chowda kept a low profile. Jing Ling said, "I've heard about her too. They say Xiao Wu isn't even 20 years old yet, and she's already a soul sect. If that's true, she's got more talent than any of us." Xiao Wu. Tai Long had heard of her too. And he'd heard she was beautiful. While they were talking in the yard, Liu Erlong, Qiao De, Ning Rongrong, Zhu Zhuqing, Xiao Wu, and the others came out of the house. "You're here. Hello, headmaster. Hello, headmaster. Hello, headmaster. Hello, headmaster." Tai Long, Jiangzhu, Huang Yuan, and Jing Ling quickly greeted them politely, taking the opportunity to check out Qiao De, Xiao Wu, Ning Rongrong, and Zhu Zhuqing. Tai Long, Huang Yuan, and Jing Ling were practically drooling. Xiao Wu, Ning Rongrong, and Zhu Zhuqing were gorgeous. Liu Erlong was beautiful too, of course, but she was the headmaster, an elder. They wouldn't dare think about it, but Xiao Wu, Ning Rongrong, and Zhu Zhuqing were different. They seemed to be around the same age, probably students at Lanba Academy too. That meant they could justifiably pursue them. Seeing Tai Long and the others ogle, Jiangzhu inwardly scoffed. Liu Erlong said, "Come on, let me introduce you all." She started with Tai Long and his group. "This is Tai Long. His martial soul is a powerful orangutan, a pure strength type soul. He's a level 31 soul master." "This is Huang Yuan. His martial soul is a lone wolf, a level 31 attack type soul master." "This is Jing Ling. His martial soul is a skeleton, a level 31 agility attack type soul master." "And this is Jiangzhu. Her martial soul is a healing scepter, a level 31 healing soul master." As they were introduced, Tai Long, Huang Yuan, and Jing Ling puffed out their chests and proudly displayed their martial souls and soul rings. 2 yellow, 1 purple. They were the highest level soul masters in the academy right now. Qiao De and the others watched calmly, without saying a word. Liu Erlong continued, introducing Qiao De and the others. "This is Ning Rongrong. Her martial soul is the 9 Treasures Glazed Pagoda, a level 42 support type soul sect. She just joined Lanba Academy recently. 9 Treasures Glazed Pagoda martial soul." Tai Long and the others had heard of the 7 Treasures Glazed Pagoda, but never the 9 treasures. They were even more shocked by Ning Rongrong's soul power level. Level 42 soul sect, and she looked even younger than them. She was a freak. Chapter 59 Jiangzhu, it's normal for an excellent man to have many women. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 59, it's normal for a great guy to have options. Little did Tyrone and the others know, the surprises were just getting started. Liu Erlong continued her introductions. "This is Zhu Zhuqing, a ghost cat spirit master, specializing in agility attacks. She's a soul sect, level 43. Another soul sect." Where was Liu Erlong finding these powerhouses? Tyrone and the others stared in awe at Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing, completely captivated by their brilliance. Liu Erlong then presented Xiao Wu. "This is Xiao Wu. You might have heard of her. Her spirit is a soft bone rabbit, and she's a level 51 soul king, specializing in attack." Wasn't Xiao Wu just a soul sect last year? In less than a year, she jumped to soul king. That's insane. The 4 of them were even more stunned, eyes glued to Xiao Wu. Xiao Wu giggled. "Hey guys, you can call me Miss Xiao Wu. I'll be looking out for you." Suddenly, Tyrone, Huang Yuan, and Jing Ling felt a pang of inferiority. They'd thought they might have a shot with Xiao Wu and the others, but now the level difference was so huge, they didn't even have the guts to try. If Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing revealed that their 4th spirit ring was a 10,000-year one, their jaws would really drop. Knowing she had their full attention, Liu Erlong introduced the last member. "This is Qiao De, a student from Lanba Academy. He joined the team with Xiao Wu. His spirit is a spatial one, and he's also a soul king." She intentionally left out Qiao De's exact spirit power level. Although he was past level 60, he hadn't acquired his 6th spirit ring yet, so he was technically still a soul king. Tyrone and the others had never even heard of a spatial spirit, another soul king. Just like Xiao Wu. This was unreal. Tyrone and the others were starting to feel numb. Compared to Qiao De and the others, they were just jokes, not even worthy of being called geniuses. Xiao De simply offered a friendly, hey. Liu Erlong continued, the reason I brought you all together is to form Lanba Academy's team for the upcoming Continental Advanced Soul Master Academy Elite competition. Right now, there are 8 of you. We'll see if we need to add more depending on how things go. Tyrone and the others glanced at Xiao De and his friends. With their strength, they were destined to be supporting characters. But they were okay with that. They felt that with Xiao De's power, they might actually have a shot at winning the competition, and they could ride that glory to lasting fame. Jiangzhu stepped forward toward Xiao Wu and the others. Miss Xiao Wu, everyone, I'm looking forward to working with you. Xiao Wu smiled. Jiangzhu, with you around, we won't have to worry about getting hurt. You can patch us up when we need it. Rong chimed in, exactly. My support is all about boosting stats, I don't have any healing abilities. With you, Jiangzhu, we'll be unstoppable. Zhu Zhuqing simply said, let's all do our best. Jiangzhu nodded. Yeah. Xiao Wu and the others seemed to be getting along great. Well, Miss Xiao Wu, please take care of us, Tyrone said, scratching his head shyly. Xiao Wu patted Tyrone on the shoulder. Don't worry. With Miss Xiao Wu here, no one's gonna mess with you. As they chatted, Xiao De was somewhat left out, but that was just because Xiao Wu and the others were more popular. Liu Erlong spoke up, alright, the team's been formed, but the competition is still over a year away. For the next year, you'll train individually, mainly focusing on increasing your spirit power. Then, we'll do some team training in the remaining 6 months. It would be inconvenient for Tyrone and the others to train with Xiao De and his group, at least right now. That's why they'd train independently first, there was no need for Xiao De to provide ingredients and fruits from his captured space to them. Not only was the quantity limited, but they weren't close enough to warrant that kind of favor. As for participating in the competition, Tyrone and the others were mostly there as backups. Xiao De and his group were the main force, of course. Tyrone and the others thought Liu Erlong's arrangement made sense, so they didn't overthink it. Besides, they were all at Lanba Academy, and they'd have plenty of opportunities to hang out, so there was no need to train together constantly. Liu Erlong kept Tyrone and the others around, and they all had lunch together. Chun-Li and Mai Xiang were there too, using ingredients from the captured space. It was no problem to entertain Tyrone and the others every once in a while. I've never had such a delicious meal. I didn't know the Dean was such a good cook. It would be amazing if I could eat like this more often. Tyrone and the others were stuffed. What could they do? They'd never tasted anything so amazing, it was an experience they'd never forget. In the afternoon, Tyrone and the others helped Xiao to deliver some of the space fruits and left reluctantly. Tyrone said, we need to stay in touch with Xiao Wu and the others regularly. We're on the same team, after all. Even if we're just backups, we need to maintain a good relationship. Huang Yuan agreed. Yeah, we can't become strangers. Jiangzhu scoffed. You guys are just chasing skirts, don't try to make it sound noble. Xiao Wu and Xiao De seem pretty close, and Rong and Zhu Zhuqing are definitely interested in him too, so don't get your hopes up. Tyrone said, no way. They're like angels, how could they all like the same guy? Jiangzhu retorted, that just shows how awesome Xiao De is. He's probably just playing it cool. I think Xiao De is the most impressive out of all 4 of them. It's normal for a great guy to have options. You guys are out of your league. Huang Yuan and Jingling were silent, Jiangzhu's words clearly hitting a nerve. Tyrone stubbornly refused to accept it. How do you know if you haven't even tried? As long as I become amazing too, I can attract them. I've decided to work harder in the future, so I can reach Soul Sect and Soul King as soon as possible, just like them. Jiangzhu was speechless. The talent gap was huge, how could they possibly catch up? Deciding not to argue, she let Tyrone and the others run into a wall. At Liu Erlong's residence, Xiao De and the others were chatting and laughing. Chun-Li and Mai Xiang had gone back to training after lunch, mother and daughter pushing each other to improve. Xiao De suddenly remembered something. Oh yeah, Teacher Erlong, my spirit ring was exposed in Suatua City, and the spirit hall is after me now. I even ran into Tiandou Royal, but my space jumping ability is pretty special, so they can't touch me, for now, but the spirit hall definitely won't give up. You need to be careful. I'm worried they'll target Lanba Academy. Liu Erlong frowned. The spirit hall is getting more arrogant by the day. They act like they own the whole continent. Since the spirit hall is after you, you have to be extra careful. Even though they're arrogant, they probably wouldn't dare to make a blatant move in Tiandou City. They might try assassination, which is hard to defend against. Rong spoke up. My dad and the others already know about this. The 7 Treasure Glazed Tile School will be monitoring the Spirit Hall's activities in Tiandou City. The moment they make a move, Grandpa Jian and the others will retaliate. Not everyone is afraid of the Spirit Hall, that the Spirit Hall wanted to mess with Xiao Wu. Rong was furious. When she went home, she acted like a spoiled child and got the 7 Treasure Glazed Tile School to promise to protect Xiao Wu. Xiao Wu smiled. It's not easy for the Spirit Hall to deal with me. I'm just worried they'll drag other people into it. Liu Erlong said, don't leave the academy for now. Just train here with me. I'll arrange for you to return to the academy as secretly as possible. The Spirit Hall probably just thinks you have close ties to the 7 Treasure Glazed Tile School. They don't know you're at Lanba Academy. It was definitely safer at the academy than out in the world. That being said, Xiao Wu couldn't stay at Lanba Academy forever. He needed to go out and get his 6th spirit ring eventually. He had his sights set on Shui Bing'er. She had an ice attribute spirit, and the ice phoenix was a high-quality spirit. Her talent was outstanding. After he soul bonded her, and she absorbed the fairy grass, her talent would improve even further, putting her on par with Zhu Zhuqing and the others. Shui Bing'er was at Tiandou Academy, and Xiao Wu was planning to sneak in and find her. End of this chapter. Chapter 60. Shui Bing'er, do you believe in love at first sight? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 60, Shui Bing'er, do you believe in love at first sight? Tiandou Academy, one of the Heaven Do Empire's 5 elemental academies, is exclusively for female students with water or ice attribute spirits. The academy grounds were far more impressive than Lanba Academy, housing hundreds of students. It was dusk. Xiao Wu, using his space jump soul skill, slipped into Tiandou Academy unnoticed. He stopped a passing student. Excuse me, do you know which dormitory Shui Bing'er lives in? The girl looked at him, a hint of amusement in her eyes. You're from another college, aren't you? Guys are always trying to get to Shui Bing'er. Save yourself the trouble, your chances are slim. It was no secret that boys from other schools often came looking for Shui Bing'er. Xiao Wu, having anticipated this, used his disguise skills to look like he was from another academy. I need to see Shui Bing'er about something. Could you point me to her dormitory? The girl, still unimpressed, gave him directions anyway. As Xiao Wu walked away, she scoffed, always toads hoping to kiss a princess. He'll learn his place soon enough. Shui Bing'er was a celebrity at Tiandou College, a gifted student attracting a lot of attention. Her residence was common knowledge. Xiao Wu located Shui Bing'er's dormitory and then returned to his capture space to wait for nightfall before making his move. Later that night, inside Shui Bing'er's dormitory, she shared her room with her half-sister, Shui Wu. Sis, guys from other colleges are totally head over heels for you. Anyone catch your eye yet? Shui Wu asked, turning to face her sister in bed. Shui Bing'er rolled her eyes. Yu, find your own when the time comes. I just want to focus on training for the Soul Master competition. She was the captain of Tiandou Academy's team. Shui Wu, also on the team, replied, you work too hard. You need to find some work-life balance. You're almost level 40, about to become a soul sect. Few can compare. And with our martial soul fusion skill, we should easily crack the top 3. Shui Bing'er wasn't as confident. Don't underestimate the others. Huo Wu and Huo Wushuang from Blazing Academy, Feng Xiaotian from Shenfeng Academy, Yu Tianxin from Thunder Academy, Yu Tianheng from Tiandou Royal Academy, they're all formidable opponents. Shui Bing'er gossiped, I heard Feng Xiaotian's quite the player at Shenfeng Academy, a real flirt. He's been chasing Xiao Wu from Blazing Academy, but she's not interested. He just keeps embarrassing himself. Worry about your own business, Shui Bing'er chided. It's late. We have training in the morning. Go to sleep. They drifted off to sleep. Some time later, Xiao stealthily used his space jump soul skill to sneak in. He used his mental power to pinpoint Shui Bing'er's location and then sent a telepathic message. Shui Bing'er. Shui Bing'er. Shui Bing'er vaguely heard someone calling her and thought it was her sister. Yuer, stop messing around. Go to sleep. The next moment, Shui Bing'er vanished from her bed and reappeared instantly. As if nothing had happened, the capture space had activated. Because Xiao had called Shui Bing'er's name and she had responded, the binding condition was met. Xiao used his space jump soul skill to leave Tianshui Academy. His mission accomplished, binding Shui Bing'er provided Xiao with a soul ring. Shui Bing'er, a soul master with 3 soul rings, yellow, and purple, contributed a purple soul ring to Xiao, black, red, black, purple. These were now Xiao's 6 soul rings. He had officially become a soul emperor with a soul power of level 63. Inside the capture space, Liu Erlong, Xiao Wu, Ning Rong, and Zhu Zhuqing were all cultivating. Congratulations, Xiao. You finally condensed your 6th soul ring. Except for Xiao Wu, the others were unaware that their presence in Xiao's space was contributing to his soul ring acquisition and improving his power. That night, Xiao Wu slept in Xiao's room. Brother, Xiao Wu asked, are you giving the fairy grass to Shui Bing'er next? You're not going to just leave her hanging like Qian Renxue, are you? Qian Renxue was born with full soul power of level 20 and a high-quality martial soul. Shui Bing'er can't compare. She might not be affected much by not having the crystal blood dragon ginseng, but if Shui Bing'er doesn't get it, her growth could be limited, and she won't be able to help you improve as much. Xiao Wu believed that since Shui Bing'er was bound, they should maximize her potential, otherwise, they should replace her. Xiao put his arm around Xiao Wu. Shui Bing'er is already talented compared to most, but she's not as strong as you. It's best to give her the fairy grass to improve her martial soul and physique. She'll be reaching level 40 soon, and the 4th soul ring should ideally be a 10,000-year soul ring. We need a plan for how to help her. Getting close to Shui Bing'er was the problem. Xiao didn't have a water or ice attribute martial soul, so he couldn't join Tianshui Academy. He would have to find another way. For the next few days, Xiao spent his time outside Tianshui Academy, waiting for Shui Bing'er to emerge from the captured space. One day, Xiao finally saw Shui Bing'er leave Tianshui College, accompanied by Shui Yuer and other classmates. They headed out to go shopping, buy stuff, and grab some snacks. Xiao left the captured space and then pretended to bump into Shui Bing'er, making it look like an accident. Sorry, Xiao, who had been looking down, looked up. When he saw Shui Bing'er, he put on an awestruck expression. It's okay. I wasn't paying attention either. When Shui Bing'er saw Xiao, she felt an immediate attraction. The two locked eyes. Ahem, Shui Yuer said pointedly, are you both all right? Xiao stammered, oh, yeah. I'm fine. Shui Bing'er nodded. Me too. Xiao walked away but kept glancing back. Shui Bing'er did the same. After a few steps, Xiao suddenly ran back. Could I get your name? I'm Xiao. I'm a soul master. Shui Bing'er was thrilled and blurted out, I'm Shui Bing'er, a student at Tianshui College. Nice to meet you, Xiao. Shui Bing'er, beautiful name. I'll remember it. Xiao reluctantly left. Shui Bing'er watched him go. Hee. Shui Yuer smiled. Sis, you've got a crush. Shui Bing'er replied, do you believe in love at first sight? Shui Yuer and the others were taken aback. They hadn't expected the usually mature and serious Shui Bing'er to say something like that. Shui Yuer teased, sis, you can't do this. The boys from other colleges will be heartbroken. Shui Bing'er was quiet. If Chowda had really fallen for her, he would come to Tianshui College to find her. If not, Chowda didn't disappoint Shui Bing'er. The next day, he was at Tianshui College, looking for her.